Check out thechosenprime.com in the link in the description below for this and other great items. Alright, welcome everyone to not just another Radio Free Cybertron review. This is a very special Radio Free Cybertron review. I'm your host, Diecast, and of course, this is FansToys Sever. What a beautiful, amazing figure. Let me say that right off the bat. This thing is awesome. Let's do a size comparison real quick. Just get his other team members in there. That way we can take a look at them all together. He is just absolutely incredible. Scoria, I liked. I thought they could do better. They improved a lot with Soar. They improved again with Sever. It is absolutely amazing. They are getting better and better. They're listening to the fans. They're doing everything they need to do. This right here is my favorite figure now out of these three, probably out of any of the figures I have. This thing is just amazing. So, and just for a comparison, a size, we'll put Masterpiece Bumblebee, Master B in there. Get him in the picture. Get Prime in the picture. Put him next to Sever. Can see they all look really good together. And of course, just don't have enough room for all these guys. Here he is also with Ultra Magnus. Just to give you a comparison with those guys. Ultra Magnus is bigger than him, but not by much. He is definitely the tallest out of the Dinobots. So let's go ahead, get some of these guys out of the way, or all of these guys out of the way. And we'll go ahead and look a little bit more closely at Sever, who is just so impressive. I don't even think the video can explain how impressive this guy is. But bring him in close. Try and get the chest to focus. Nice red and silver detailing on the chest. There's paint apps everywhere on him. There's some dark red up here. The silver, a little bit of the gray underneath his belly there. Some gray on the back, on the front bits right here. All this panel detailing. And the clear panels in front of it. Turn on the side of the leg. You have really nice paint apps all throughout the leg. On the inside of the leg, which this is what absolutely amazes me. There's so much detailing in what effectively is the center of his head that I can't even tell there's a Dinobot head in there. I mean, I can kind of tell just because I know, but you really don't know. I had someone else look at this that doesn't know anything about Transformers and asked her, what does this transform into? She had no idea. So, this thing is super impressive. The bottom of the feet. There's a nice rock. Forward. It tilts to the side, so you do have your foot/ankle tilt. go to the back of this guy. There's even detailing on these back panels. What effectively is his gluteus maximus. Um, just really, really nice. The face sculpt is excellent. That's probably the best angle right there. Just really nice face sculpt. You can pop his face off, and not only pop his face off, but you can pop his eyes out. That way I believe there's going to be another piece to change the color of his eyes if you want red eyes. And of course it's not coming out right now, but it just slides off. And then you pop the face back on. Maybe there'll be a screaming face too, or something like that. Really like when you pose his head up. Just gives him that I'm a big Dinobot and I know it look. So, and these tail pieces can almost completely go behind him if you want that look. And there's also an alternate transformation on this guy that you can do if you want. If you think his tail pieces are sitting too low, you can come back here, pop this back panel up, and you can pop these up or adjust these up one click, and the backpack still fits on. That kind of makes him look even a little bit taller still. Bring it in real close so you can see that. Just awesome, awesome figure. You can go up one more click if you want. I'll show you what that looks like. But you can't get the backpack down all the way, so it kind of sticks out. But you can bend that piece down. Looks a little strange, but it does give him some height. If you just wanted to bulk him up and make it sit up even higher on his back. So let's put them back down in their proper position. I kind of like the not all the way down, but that one click up. Just brings him a little bit further up, bulks him up a little bit more, but you're still able to get the backpack down. Just like that. So you can even swoop him in a little bit. So there's tons of posing options with this guy. Just the arms, the way they can come out, the really nice ratchet on them. I mean, this is far above Scoria, and Scoria was excellent. There was a couple little minor complaints about him, but he was really good. This is perfect. I mean, I really can't find any flaws that this figure has to say, well, it was good, but it's not great. And there's nothing. It's amazing. There is some rotation at the bottom of the arm. Elbow, get about 90 degrees. Really all you need from a Dinobot. Said the arms do go all the way out. The legs are on a ratchet. These pieces will move out of the way appropriately. Goes out about that far. Get a 90-degree at the knee, which is pretty impressive for how big his feet are. You do get a swivel at the very upper part of the thigh. Waist swivel. Hand swivel. I left one of his hands out straight just to show you that the fingers are actually even different lengths, because I know some third-party figures, the fingers are all the same length, but this just shows the detail to make this toy in the masterpiece style. It's there. It's not close. It's there. And I just can't tell you how much I like this figure. If anyone saw my Soar review, I was impressed with the improvements they made on that, and this improves on that, which by the last figure that they make, or the last Dinobot that they make, if that is, their take on Grimlock, that is going to be really impressive and far better than what we've gotten in the past officially in the masterpiece scale. So, again, more details. I like this black. It's like a blackish plastic on the inside. Everywhere they can, they put details. These wheels look like gears. Down on the feet here, on the inside of the feet, I forgot to mention this chrome line that goes through even continues into these plastic pieces. Just, I mean, it's absolutely amazing, and it's what you would expect with a masterpiece style figure. So, let's go ahead and get into the transformation on him. First thing we're going to do, we're going to lift this backpack up, bop him in the head a couple times, take the tail pieces, get them up out of the way, just like that. That way we can open up the chest, straighten out these chest panels, or the back panels, just like so. And we're also going to rotate the waist. And I'm going to bring the tails back down. This makes it a little bit easier just to peg the tail back together, which is really easy with these big gears that act as alignment points. Get the tail nice and secure. You also want to open up this front chest panel, flip in the head, close that back up. I even like on the front here how they left a spot for an emblem or a logo if you want to put that on there. So it's not only on the dinosaur head, which we'll see in a minute, but also on the chest. And you see the gold bits in here under the clear plastic. Just everywhere you look, there's amazing detail. Lots of rivets along this red panel here. So there's no panel that is just plain plastic. Nothing. So now that we did that, we can go ahead and flip open these red pieces. Kind of angle this up for now. Bring the tail up a click. Right to about there, so that black panel is straight. And we're going to close this back piece back up, and there's two pegs, a peg and a hole and a peg and a hole right on the inside there. And then just close that up. And you can pull the tail down a little bit. And next thing we want to do is bring this whole section down, and then it's just going to tab in right there. And now he's the back half of Dinosaur. Next we can go to the arms. And the other amazing thing about this is there was a simpler way to make this figure transform, and that's not FansToys' way. They will go the extra engineering step to make this figure amazing, because it could have been really easy to make a simple transformer out of, this Dinobot, but I was impressed in the level of the engineering that went into this, because like I said, there is a lot easier ways to do it, and this was nothing I would have thought of. Not that I'm an engineer or anyone special, but so before I do that, this got me the first time. You do want to rotate the arms around. Then when you flip the panels around, because otherwise his feet will be backwards, and then you have to redo the whole panel step. You also want to make sure you fold up the fingers, and the thumb sits down in front of the fingers. This whole panel opens up, hand rotates in, that closes down. You can get the foot down, and then close these panels back up that we just opened. And they are a little tight, these panels, but I will show you a way to kind of, when he's in dinosaur mode, there is a little bit of a groove to get your finger in there, or your fingernail. Just remember to rotate the arm before you close these panels up. Close up the fingers, open the panel in the front, flip the hand back in, close that up, bring the foot down, and then close these panels again. And we'll just get those legs up and out of the way. Now we're just going to come down to the legs. And on the legs, you can rotate that around. We're going to pull the head out. Actually, before we do that, we'll flip these feet panels back in. That gives you a little bit of room to get your finger in there to get the head out. That just gets out of the way. And then this whole panel will open up, and you can rotate the leg out. And we can close this up just like so. Same thing on the other side. Slide that leg out, rotate it around, take the panels on the foot, flip them back in, get the head out, pull that panel down, rotate the leg out, and close this back up. And then it's just a matter of lining everything up, making sure all the panels are lined up. You can see these round circles, they just kind of help to slot in, which is really neat. I don't remember seeing anything like that on any of their figures before. So that's what I believe is a new design, and it works really well. That way you don't have to have too many pegs, although there are still pegs on this guy, but it's not excessive and they're where they need to be. The head just slides in here on the front, and I kind of like to do it before I tab the head together because it's easier to maneuver and slide these on past that peg just because of that little notch right there. Then you can squeeze the head together. And someone was saying if the head stays together well, and yeah, I mean, I can just slap him around and it's not going anywhere. So his head tabs together very well. All we have to do is squeeze this all together. That's what was wrong. These have a tendency to rotate up a little bit when you're in the transformation. That's kind of what was blocking it. So you don't want to force the legs. If there's something that doesn't seem right, just open it up. That's the first time that happened to me, but now he's tabbing together good. Put the head back in. Now I have to make sure I pose the front legs right. Someone wasn't happy with me. So I think they go like that. I'm not a stickler for those details. I think the back legs fold in. So I think that's how he's actually supposed to stand. Which means he was not a very fast runner. Because you can't really... This leg does not move forward, so it has to bend back. Legs are pretty close together. If that's the correct stance, and I'm sure you guys will let me know if it's not. But just a beautiful, beautiful figure in both modes. It's amazing how much waggle you can get in his tail. I mean, that's just an insane amount for the the transformation this has to go through and everything like that. To be able to wag the tail that much is just awesome. These legs are on a ball joint you can get full 360 if you want. And the other thing I thought that was neat on this figure is it kind of looks like this is where the foot would stay, um, but it's not. And that's really neat too. These legs you still get a little bit of outward due to the transformation, so he can take a dino dump, for a better term. And then his head has a good amount of side to side on it too. He can look up. Of course, there's that just due to the transformation, but you can get him looking up a little bit, but I don't really see a Stegosaurus looking up too much anyway. They were mostly, you know, eating low grass and shrubs and stuff like that. And I know someone else had a problem opening his mouth, but if I bring it in real close, there is a little groove right there that you can get your finger in to open up that mouth. And it's no problem at all. I haven't had any problems with this figure. The hardest thing is when you're going back to robot mode is popping these leg panels back open. That's the hardest thing that I've had to do on this figure. Robot mode, popping those back open isn't as bad because there's a little groove there to get your finger under. So the chrome on him is excellent. That's one thing that Scoria was a little lacking on, was the chrome plating wasn't as good as Soar and Sever. So I almost forgot his name there for a second. Really like the ratchet on his mouth. It's really nice. Like I said, of course, there's detailing inside the mouth, even on the top of the mouth. So there's nothing plain on this guy at all. And on the bottom side, there is that hole that everyone's talking about, and it doesn't bother me. I'm never going to see that side at all. So I'm glad they don't have a panel there, because that would just be added transformation, something that could possibly break, something that could possibly not line up right. I know FansToys could do it and it could be 100% correct, but you really don't need it. And it would just get in the way. The leg transformation, it would just make it a little bit more of a complex transformation. And this guy is an innovative transformation already, and a fun transformation. There's no reason to add anything else to this figure. It's exactly what I would expect, and it's definitely worth the price of admission on this guy. So, just to give you some tips when you're going to transform him back into robot mode, if you open the mouth a little bit, it helps to split the face, because otherwise it's kind of hard to get that head split. But once you once you open his mouth, you can pull it apart relatively easy. So that's a really nice tip. Of course, I'm not going to transform him back into robot mode. And then the other tip was on the legs, to get these panels open. If you just straighten out the legs as much as possible, that'll give you a little bit of a groove or room to get in there to pop that panel open just like that. But again, I can't say enough good things about this figure. It's just bravo. FansToys, I mean, whatever you come out with, when they come out with that Skyfire, that is going to be, or they're not Skyfire, that is going to be absolutely amazing. I I don't care if it's 350 um, to get it at the proper scale that the scale chart requires to make everyone happy. Knowing the quality of the Dinobots, that would be amazing. And there are other figures coming out. I mean, at even cheaper price points than this, those figures are probably going to be amazing too. I mean, I'm just so excited to see anything that FansToys has to put out right now because I think that their level is up there with Takara Tomy and Hasbro, that they're going to put stuff out and you're going to like it no matter what. It's just that's the way I feel. And I don't think there's any other third party company right now that I can say that no matter what they put out, I think I'm going to like their figure. So, let's go ahead and do a comparison with him. One thing I completely forgot to do, which I wanted to show you guys before I transformed him out of robot mode, was the weapons. Really like the paint on this. I say it in a lot of my reviews. Anytime you can get more than one color on a weapon, it makes it stand out and look so much better than just an all black weapon. It even has red detailing in there on the gun, right in those little two slots. So there's actually three colors on here. And then the battery, to replace the or to put in the batteries, it's this little tiny door on the top. You don't need screws or anything. They just pop open and you pop the batteries in, which is great. And then just so everyone knows, so they can get the right batteries, I use these 377-376, and they are the same batteries that were Scoria used. So, and probably Sewer too. This is the first one I've actually put batteries in. And then there's a little switch down at the bottom. You just press that in, and it goes pew, 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 pew. Everyone likes to go pew, pew with their guns. Um, so that's the gun. And here we have the sword. This, you do have 5 screws that have to take out to get in there to put the batteries in, but it also takes just 2 of these these 377, 376 button batteries. So you only need 4 total for this figure. I would recommend maybe picking up, you know, a pack of 20 or something on eBay or Amazon. Can't remember where I got these, if they were eBay or Amazon. If you want to pick them up on Amazon, also go to tfradio.net/Amazon. It helps us out. It helps us pay for some of the reviews and some of the podcasts that we do and the server costs and everything like that. So we'd really appreciate that. But you can see there's a lot of light in my setup right now, which sometimes with the chrome there's a lot of glare. I apologize about that. Um, but you can see the light lights up a good amount of the sword, even with all the light in the background. So if we would try to turn these lights off, there you go. So definitely a lot of light. Now let's go ahead and do some comparisons in Dino mode. This is going to be interesting to see if we can get everyone in here. Here he is with Grimlock. I'm already knocking stuff down. Angle this up just a little bit. There he is with Grimlock. Here he is. Get Swoop in there. And Swoop's high. Pull back on the camera just a little bit. Here he is. Scoria. Scoria's leaning over a little bit. It's a hard team to get all in one shot. And we'll get them out of the way just because we'll get Swoop and Grimlock out of the way just because he is closest to comparison with Scoria. And they're pretty close in size from tail to tail. Try and rotate him here. So, but Sever is definitely taller, or higher. So, and for the next size comparison, I wanted to bring in someone heroic. There he is with MP10. Just so you can see a size comparison between them. So I think that's about right. You know, what I picture a dinosaur in my head being and a Mack truck, that's a pretty good scale for my shelf. All right. So that's it, everyone. Thank you guys for watching. Really enjoying doing this, and I hope to continue doing it. Please subscribe, comment, share, everything you can do to help me out to get more subscribers. I'd really appreciate it. I do have a big another big test shot review that I should be doing soon. So you definitely want to get subscribed so you can check that out when that's available. Also, make sure to check out the Chosen Prime in the link in the description below, where you can go ahead and pre-order this right now. And I definitely recommend you do it because he's going to go fast. Scoria, I believe, is not around anymore. Sora, I don't even know if that's around anymore. The toy version just came out. I think you can still pick up the toy version, but the regular releases, the cartoon accurate releases, are getting very hard to come by. So you definitely want to pick him up sooner than later. They don't seem to be doing extra production runs of these figures, so you want to get it now before it's gone. Again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.